Hi everyone. People in Russia love to joke that we have only two holidays during the year. The first holiday is New Year and the second holiday is summer. And in fact, in every joke there is a grain of truth, because we have very few warm days during our summers in Russia, and we have 2 weeks of official holidays during New Year. Of course, all of your countries have special customs to celebrate New Year's. That's beautiful vivid festivals in China and Korea, and these are kissing each other and making New Year resolutions in America. And we also have many things in common, like decorating Christmas trees and giving gifts to each other and having fireworks. But today I'm going to tell you about some specific things about New Year in Russia. Why New Year in Russia is that important, how we spend New Year's Eve, and who are Ded Moroz and Snegurочка. So let's start. Before October Revolution in 1917, people in Russia celebrated Christmas like do people in Western Europe and in America. They celebrate Christmas on December 25th, and they decorated Christmas tree, and they had huge parties, and they invited that Santa Claus colleague, his name was Saint Nicholas, and he was expected to give gifts to children. But after the revolution in 1917, the religion in Russia was prohibited at all, and so the Christmas was prohibited too. But can you imagine that the whole country will forget all those traditions that existed for several centuries? Of course, people did not, and they continue to celebrate New Year's, but they bring old Christmas tradition to celebrate New Year's. And so, like Christmas is considered the major holiday in Western European countries and in America, the same way New Year is the major holiday in Russia. After the USSR disappeared, Christmas returned, but we don't have actual Christmas tradition to celebrate Christmas. And on top of all that, during the October Revolution, the calendar was changed to be like calendar that the rest of the world use. But the Russian Orthodox Church refused to change the calendar, so we celebrate Christmas nowadays on January 7th, and so New Year is in the last and the more strict week of fasting. So, but people in Russia are not that religious, but so they celebrate New Year, and like as I said, this is a huge holiday, and people do not have power to celebrate Christmas. So now I'm gonna tell you how we spend New Year's Eve, and you will understand why we don't have that power. The celebration usually begins at December 31 at 9 p.m. and we have Christmas tree decorated by that time, and a table served with a lot of foods. I will tell you about 2 traditional dishes that we always have on New Year. The first one is, we call it Olivier salad. It's originated from pre-revolution recipe, but that recipe contained caviar and lobsters, but during the USSR the recipe was changed, and now we have the same, only the name of this salad. It's like potato salad, but it contains chicken, it contains carrots, pickles, boiled eggs, and huge amount of mayo, which is fat and very unhealthy. Another traditional dish that is originated during the time of USSR is, we call it seletka под шубой. It can be translated to English like herring under the fur coat. You can see herring, it's salty herring like bottom layer of this dish, and then you can see layers of mashed potatoes, carrots and beans, and again it's a huge amount of maya. And also, beside of these dishes, we have on our New Year's table sliced salami and cheese and caviar and some other salads which are also fat and have many calories, and that's just for starters, because we have a belief that since we don't want to starve during the upcoming year, we have to meet the new year stuffed. So we usually celebrate New Year with our close family in front of the TV, and we watch TV, and before 10 minutes before the New Year, the President of Russia starts his speech, and this is a signal for us that we have to fill our glasses with champagne and think about our New Year wishes. And when New Year's come, the clock on the Savior's Tower in Kremlin, Moscow, start to chime, and we have, during these clock chimes, we have to drink our champagne and make wishes for, not out loud, but for ourselves, and it's common belief that we will wish that will come true during the New Year. And then the first thing in the New Year is huge fireworks. It's everywhere. It's on the Red Square. It's in your local city, and even almost everyone goes outside and does its own firework. And if you look through the window during this New Year's night, you can see the sky full of fireworks. It's quite dangerous, but it's beautiful. And then people continue to drink and to eat, and that's why in the next morning they feel ill. It's like euphemism for hangover. But children in Russia wakes up early in the New Year and waits for present from Ded Moroz. Ded Moroz is Russian colleague of Santa Claus. He brings children gifts, but he has some distinguished features from Santa Claus. First of all, he wears ankle-long coat with white fur edging, and his coat is embroidered with beautiful ornament, silver or gold, and he has golden or silver belt and embroidered mittens. Those are his mittens. And in his head he has a silver and crystal pike staff, and which helps him go through forest. And he operates Troika, these three horses which drive the sleigh. And he is accompanied by his beautiful granddaughter. His name is Snegurочка. It might be translated to English like Snow Girl, and she is probably the most attractive character in Russian country, in Russian culture. So during this official holiday, people Ded Moroz and Snegurочка continue to entertain people in these beautiful ice-made towns which are built in every Russian city. And if you are thinking about visiting Russia, consider doing it during New Year time, because we have much fun. But don't forget your warm clothes. Don't expect to celebrate Christmas on the 10th December 25, and bring your appetite and prepare to this huge food feast, and be prepared to meet Ded Moroz and Snegurочка. Thank you.